Okay, my dear, now I'm going to invite you to wiggle your way up. Don't come yet. To the head of the table. I'm going to support the weight of your head while you do that. Okay, can you inchworm up for me? Oh, she's so good at this. A little bit more. Perfect. Yep, that's good. All right, are you comfy? Good. Okay. And sometimes, you know, it's really important to make people comfortable on the table. One of the Traeger instructors has called me the Queen of Comfort because in my office I have a bookcase and I have like 15 different sized pillows. So sometimes I need pillow props under knees, or you know, often when we also work with clients face down or in side lying. So having lots of pillows, different sizes to prop the client so that they're comfortable is important in the work. So I'm going to say a little hello to her head and neck and shoulders here. And again, I'm noticing free movement. Free movement is what I'm looking for. I'm going to roll her head to the side. Not all the way. If I took it all the way, she'd be at the edge of her range of motion. It wouldn't be so comfortable. So just part way. And I'm going to just give her a little gentle stretch here. How's that feel, Tracy?
Great.
Good. And I can give that a little rock. In Traeger, we call this particular movement here, well, I'm sculpting up her neck, but this position, I guess, is what we call swan's neck. So I want her neck to feel long and elegant, like a swan's neck. I'm giving her that feeling of a long, lovely neck. And we'll do that on the other side so she feels balanced. So for sculpting, giving her this feeling sensation of a long neck. And actually in the sculpting, there's just this little bit of taking out the slack and allowing the neck to lengthen. And then giving her a little rocking here. Great. And bringing her back to center. Good. And of course, for my clients who have really forward head posture when they lay down on the table, because of the tightness in the suboccipitals, their heads would be lying like this. So if that was the case, I would put a little pillow prop under there so that her head would be, or their heads would be level. Because that will be the most comfortable way for them to receive the work. So here I'm just doing a little movement for all of these cervical muscles, and especially saying hello to her suboccipitals here. I'm noticing her SCM engage a little bit in this movement. So you know what, I'm going to actually do that movement smaller because I don't really want to see the engagement of that muscle. And it means for some reason that movement isn't completely comfortable for her. So inviting her neck to lengthen here. I'm taking my whole body back to take out the slack. Pause. Again, allowing the reverberations of the work. Allowing her unconscious mind to make some shifts. I often like to play with temporalis, taking out the slack. So I'm going to do that with my thenar eminences. You're just going to hug her temporalis and give it a little gentle taking out the slack in all its different directions. because you know that muscle fans out. How's that feel?
I love that.
So many people, you know, they have tension headaches here. You know, these temporalis jaw muscles, they get, you know, people are holding back what they're saying, they're biting, or people who clench at night. This is just lovely. You can play a little bit with her jaw muscles. Tracy, you can let your jaw be open just slightly. Right, so I'm inviting length. Trigger work is really an invitation to the body. So I'm not pushing, I'm not forcing change. I'm inviting the muscles to lengthen. Inviting the jaw to drop here. Or I'm going to invite a little wiggle. Yeah, okay. And again a little. So I'm going to give her a little movement for her suboccipitals. Yeah. Let's tell her, okay, this is what this feels like. All right, this is what that feels like. And now see if she'll give me a little more. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Getting a little more stretch in her suboccipitals there. And notice how this movement is going all the way down her body. Great. And before we finish, I think I'll just say a little hello to her belly. So I'm going to come in with very soft hands. And it's okay if I'm here in your belly, dear?
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it was. So otherwise, I'd ask ahead of time, having worked with Tracy on her belly before. So I'm just bringing in my soft hands, just mushing the tissue here, inviting all her organs to slide around in their happy organs. And then I can take my hands, lift up the belly tissue, a little lift, my whole body, and give her a little rock in the belly. So here my hands are just on the soft tissue. If I was on her bones, I would get a different rock than if I'm just in her belly tissue. Just sculpting this, getting a little belly tissue to rock here. Good. And then letting that go. Okay, Tracy. So before you get up, my dear, I would like you to take time to pause on the table, to take a few more breaths, to take a little snapshot of the feeling sensations in your body at this moment. Because all this feeling memory is in both your body and your mind. And you can recall this later, whenever you want. Perhaps easiest lying down, like before you go to sleep at night. But you can recall this feeling and give yourself another little mini Traeger session. And this is another important principle of Traeger, that we can recall this feeling. And the more we practice recalling this feeling, the better we get at it. So that, like, if I'm going to be doing something like videotaping, I can pause. I can recall one of my favorite Traeger sessions and the feeling of relaxation and peacefulness that I had at that moment. I can breathe that in. I can take that into my day. So I'm going to have you get up off the table a special way. So what I'd like you to do, my dear, is in a minute, don't do it yet, but you're going to roll on your side. You're going to let your legs come over closer to the side of the table and drop off. You're going to push up with your arm, letting your head come up last, staying relaxed. Right? And she's familiar with this. So Go ahead, come on and roll onto your side. Good. Let your feet drop. Push up with that arm, let your head come up last. Perfect. All right, here you are. Good. So, how are you doing?
My back feels softer, and it's a little surprising because you didn't specifically touch my back or work on my back. But
yes, but we reached right into there, right?
Right.
Yeah, through the rest of the tissue.
Yeah, so yeah, I just feel sort of expanded and looser.
Good.
Softer.
And we're going to give you a little sky hook back up here at your posterior summit. Yeah. Help lift you up there. Good. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so step down gently, let your feet find the floor. So, thank you for joining me in this course, this introduction to the Traeger approach and Mentastics movement education. I really hope that you'll incorporate some of these movements into your daily life and into your practice. And if you would like to learn more information about the Traeger approach, I would invite you to check out my website or the United States Traeger Association's website, where you can also search for a practitioner in your area and where you can search for trainings that may be close to you or full introductory workshops that you can do in person. And then also, if you're out of the country, there's the international website as well. And I will be teaching introductory workshops in different areas, so you can please check that out on either my website or the USTA website. So thank you so much for joining me, and look for other courses at CE4U by me on the Traeger approach in the future. All right, thanks again.